Hello everybody, I'm John. This is the Midnight Paint and Body channel. On this video we're going to get going on part 3 of our 88 Mazda B2200 Lowrider refinish project. So if you're returning to the channel for this, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. It keeps growing. It is just a hobby. It's something I do, you know, so my customers can see their vehicles, what's getting done, and so on. But the fact that there's so many of you that enjoy the videos is really cool. If you're new here, welcome to the Midnight Paint and Body channel, where I take you along on pretty much whatever I'm working on in the body shop. In this case, it is a 1988 Mazda B2200 we've been working on for a couple videos. I've said it before, but the fellow that owns this truck has owned it since 1988 or 89, something like that. He owned it since it was a year old anyway. So we're just getting her all redone. He drove it to grad back in the 90s. His son graduates this year, so he decided it was time to resurrect it, get her looking nice again so his son can drive it to grad. So the last couple videos we've got all the body work done for the most part. Last video, obviously, we got it in primer. This video, I think we're gonna start on prepping some inners. Now, I was undecided at first. I just thought I might just clean up and paint the bottom of the doors because there is some rust and there's a couple spotted from the door jambs. But looking at these, I think I should just strip them and let's just repaint the inside of the doors complete, and then probably the door jambs as well. And it'd just be nice to have this all nice and clean inside here. So I'm gonna start by just stripping off all of the stuff, weather strip and the check strap and, you know, stuff like this. You know, the latch, that kind of thing. I always, personally, I will take the screws out, shove the latch in. It doesn't have to come right out. But, you know, you paint over stuff like that, that's super tacky. I just like to take off as much as I can. So yeah, let's start cleaning these up. Well, I got one door sanded inside, started on the second door. That is not much for a Saturday. As you can see behind me, one of my past jobs came back today, and it's got quite a list of things the customer's not happy with, so I'm feeling a little discouraged. I'm calling it a day, guys. I just... the whole hard work to make a living thing is not what it's cracked up to be. Anyway, I'll be back soon. Okay, well, I'm back. Still the same day. I went and had something to eat, a cup of coffee. Thought I'd try and get a little bit more work done on the Mazda before Saturday's over. So, like I kind of mentioned, I just got the big old Ford back, and there's kind of a whole bunch of things that I need to try and fix on it. So definitely not a lot of unreasonable things, but there is a lot of things that, yeah, it's just a little bit of a kick in the butt because At the end of the day, I'm a dude that does body work in an old truck shop. And I mean, I charge accordingly to being a dude that does body work in an old truck shop. I'm not a fancy, spotless shop with high-end equipment by any means, but you know, stuff like the inside of the box being a little darker, absolutely. I honestly didn't see how bad it was when it left here. Look at it compared to the cab, it's way darker. And the only difference is I painted, honestly, the inside of the box with single stage paint to make it easier, or all the exterior is done in base coat, clear coat, so that's pretty common. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it and bore you guys with it. Monday morning, I will just have at it and do everything I can to make it right. Back to our little truck. So I did just sand the other door inner, and then I pulled my plastic off my door jamb here, and I'm kind of looking at it thinking, yeah, I think, because I did have to prime into the jamb a bit because of the repair, but I think I will just do a quick sand and paint the entire jambs just so it's all nice and clean and fresh for them. So I'm going to spend about another hour out here. I'm going to grab some sandpaper and maybe pull that sill step off and get back to work. Hey guys, so it's Sunday, I'm back. I just actually wanted to get the jambs and the inside of the doors painted on this today so that I can move it out of the booth and have my booth clear for tomorrow. But I'm going to try something I saw on Instagram this morning and see if it's life-changing. You ready? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it is pulling it really tight because it's pulling my tape off. Okay, I just made more work for myself. I mean, I guess it does work if you've got really floppy plastic. Not really necessary. Okay, failed experiment. Now I need to retape. I'll get back to work. Stop looking at Instagram. So one of the best things about having your own shop is that you can crank whatever tunes you want to listen to. But you see, because now I make YouTube videos, I have to turn it down for you guys so that these bands don't go broke if you hear their music. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got our jambs all sanded and washed and masked, obviously. My little failed stretching out the plastic, I kept having to retape it. That was silly because it actually pulled it so tight it was pulling all the tape off. Anyway, not a big deal. So what I'm going to do now is just hit a few spots of bare metal, like where I've cleaned up the bottom of the doors. Yeah, just a few minor burn throughs. I'm going to hit those spots with some epoxy primer. And let that epoxy primer set up, then we'll put a little bit of seam sealer in there, and then we'll move on to mixing some paint. Oh, come on, airline. Come on. I'll hit those other spots, and then we'll let that set up for a bit. So our color on this one is Mazda code 1E. Bayside Blue, they call it. So let's see what all goes in this one. So I'm wondering what the racket is behind me. Louie, what are you doing? Now, I need to turn on the mixer, because I just changed the toner. You ready, Louie? Yeah, I figured that would get him down. Look at the look on his face. No, he doesn't live in the shop. But he likes to be outside. And he hears me working and he wants to come in. Epoxy cured up. Going to get a little seam sealer along the bottom of these doors. I'm going to try and sort of match up to the factory seam sealer there. So I use this brush-on style seam sealer quite a bit. I like it. Now I find, personally, the trick with this stuff is to take the tape off right away, not after it cures. So there we go. You can see how nice that bead of seam sealer works. I find this particular brand, Dominion Sure Seal, I really like this stuff. It flows out really nice. I tried a different brand of the sealer and I didn't like it myself. But I'm going to go ahead and do the other door, a couple small little spots in the door jambs, and then I'll probably go for a coffee, let this set for 20 minutes before we paint it. Now a couple coats of clear coat. Don't tell anyone, guys, but it's Tuesday and I'm working on my weekend job. Just for half an hour. I just finished painting the inside of the box of the Ford. So I'm just killing a little time here. Just thought I'd show you guys how nice this looks, all cleaned up. I always take a few extra minutes and polish up bolt heads and stuff. Just makes a big difference on assembly, I think. Just little things. So I've got the driver's door done. We're gonna slap it on. Here's where door jambs look, just being freshly painted. So like I said, it's gonna make this nice and clean when it goes back together. It's just a little extra. Oh, there's another thing. Since you guys are here, since you're still watching, so you're probably used to seeing my Firebird in the background with no motor. Well, I got my motor back yesterday, so I'm not a mechanic, I'm a body man, but I'll get it back together for anyone that's interested. So it's a Pontiac 400, so it's 30 over, which makes it a 406, and then it's got an offset ground crank now, which is going to add a few cubic inches. Not quite sure how you calculate that. 6X heads, it's all fresh. It's all roller now, roller cam, roller lifters. It's the Comp Mother Thumper cam. It's 514 intake and 512 exhaust, something like that. I'll have to look at the cam card, I don't remember, it's been a while. So, haven't driven my car in 2 years, so won't be driving it right away because it's winter, but looking forward to getting that done. A little off topic from the Mazda. We may as well peek in at the Ford. So I wanted to mention too, guys, that I don't want to make it sound like this customer's being unreasonable. He's totally not. They're working concerns with the job. It's just myself. I beat myself up over this stuff sometimes because it's hard, man. This is a tough way to make a living, what I do, and to be quite honest, I just kind of, even just the materials for a redo right now, it's tough because, well, I'm normal. I'm freaking broke. But I've got to get this thing done, so we'll figure it out. So there's a box all freshly painted. You know, honestly, it still looks a hair dark, but because it was dark before, then putting more paint over top, we'll see how it looks outside. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm not sure how it looks in the camera. Closer here. So you see when the light is on it, it's quite a bit different. But anyway, it doesn't matter because that's not what this video is about, this truck. This is just me babbling now. But anyway, I'm gonna go slap one door on that thing and then yeah, I think that's about ready where I can move it out and start doing some of the other repairs on it. Right. Easy. Well, I don't know, not very exciting. It's a door. But make it look like a truck again. So I am going to actually get back to work on my other job. I'll probably see you guys back here on Saturday on this one. Well guys, it's actually Sunday today. My day got away from me yesterday, so I thought I should get out here for a couple hours at least today. So I think what we're gonna do is get this box prepped up for a spray-in bed liner. Now, I am not crazy about spray-in bed liners. I think they're great for putting on crappy stuff. I don't get the point putting them in a brand new truck, because now you've got a spray-in bed liner that's protecting the box that you will never again see that it's been protected, because they don't come out. But anyway, they serve their purpose. So in this case, so I'm going to show you guys what we're working with here. So this isn't the best option, but it's the best option. I know that makes no sense, but actually if you look inside this box, so obviously you can see stuff like this. So this is where our floor brace is. This is everywhere that it's welded to the floor. Here's our rear brace. Now you see all of these rust spots. They just look like rust spots, but every one of those is rusted through. You know, if you look closely, you know, that's just what's going on. We're rusted through a little there. Same thing on that side, only a lot worse. You know, we're rusted through here and here, pretty much wherever there's braces. Now, I'm gonna hide this. This is all we're doing. And, you know, just in, I'm hiding the rust. I'm not hiding from you guys or from the customer what I'm doing, and that's why I'm showing this. I just think it's kind of the only option. Now, realistically, you're not gonna patch this stuff up. You would need a whole bed floor. If you're putting in a whole bed floor, you're gonna need all the bed floor braces. Now, this is an 88 Mazda. You're not gonna get a new bed floor for it, and you're not gonna find a rust-free box for it. Well, maybe in California, I don't know, but not in British Columbia. So, we're just gonna do what we can with this one. So I figure if I do a spray-in bed liner, and then I will try and get up underneath and just paint the underside with some rust preventative paint to kind of seal everything up. I'm gonna kind of patch up these rust holes. I'll show you what we're doing there. It's not the best, but it's what we're gonna do. So yeah, so there's all of that. And I'm gonna show you what we're using here. If you haven't seen one of these, I'm not even sure what they call it. It's like a sanding cup. These are like some sort of fiberglass bristles. And these are awesome for doing stuff like this, where it's not, you know, it's not like finish sanding where you're going to be painting over it and it has to look really nice. We're just scratching the hell out of it so that a thick textured bed liner is going to stick, and these are ideal. So I'll kind of show you how that guy works. So I've got it mounted on my polisher. It actually works really well because it's a variable speed. But obviously don't want really big RPMs. I don't think they're designed for that. Actually, it probably says on it. Okay, maximum 2,500 RPMs. So, I don't know how I can gauge that, but so I'm going to go over every inch of this box. And I'll tell you something that's really nice about this little lowrider truck. I can do a lot of this from outside. I probably do pretty much all of it from standing outside the truck, not crawling around on my knees inside the bed, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, I'm going to keep sanding this, guys. I'm just painting a piece in the booth right now, so I don't want to make too much dust. So we'll come back to this in a bit. I actually do need to run to town and pick up a bed liner kit, so I will go and do that if I get that far today. And then you probably notice, yeah, it's still here. It's been a week. Unfortunately, that one kind of went sideways. I might make a video on it, guys, about what happened, what the problems were, what the expectations were, you know, what it cost versus the $100,000 restoration the customer seemed to think he was getting. Yeah, we'll see, guys, but I mean, the truck is beautiful. I think, as you know, by, you know, if you watch my videos, I mean, I say it all the time, I'm a guy that does body work in an old shop. This isn't a high-end restoration shop, but I do take a lot of pride in what I do, and I do good work for a fair shop rate. I might have said that already in this video, but that one's got me a little upset. So anyways, guys, let me know if you're interested in a video on that, on kind of what went sideways, what went wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna keep prepping this box and bring you guys back in a bit. So, I've got the inside of our bed all sanded here, guys, and I just washed it all down with some wax and grease remover. So now we're gonna get on to some professional rust repair here. So, if you're a sensitive viewer, you might want to look away. That's right, we're doing a little bit of hackery, but you know what? It is going to be just fine for what we're going for here, I think. Oh, let's move that over just to here. Yeah, I get it. This is not the right way to do it, by any means. But like I said, guys, this is not getting a new bed floor. And definitely not every job is a $100,000 restoration. Or even a restoration by any means. So this is what we're doing. Hey, if it's good enough for ducts, it's good enough for a Mazda bed floor. So this tape is extremely thin. So we're not going to see it, or the edge of it, under the spray liner. And this will just kind of cover up our holes until we get it sealed up with the liner. So that's what it's getting. I'll bring it back when I'm ready to spray a bed liner in. So here we are, all ready to spray. So, yes, our rust repair method isn't restoration quality, but let's be honest, this little truck's only going to get driven in the summer. It's not like it's going to see winter weather. This is going to hold it back. I'll seal up the underside of the box, and you know, it'll probably last a whole bunch of years. I'm not terribly worried about it. Yes, it's a little hackish, but I think hackery is different when you're full disclosure. That's what I'm doing. You guys are seeing it. The truck's owner is going to see it. Yeah, we just didn't have any options. You know, you're just not going to get a new bed floor for one of these, and even if you could, by the time you cut it apart, I bet you everything else underneath is rusty and you'd end up having to replace everything. And it's just not that job, so this is going to be just fine. So what we're using on this one, it's not my usual bed liner I use. I typically use the Dominion Sure Seal, the shake and shoot kits, but that's what I use that one because I've used it many times and I know it works really good, so I've just stuck with it. So, but they didn't have it in stock. They had the Raptor liner, and talking to the guys at the auto parts store, they said they sell a ton of these, so I'm sure it's fine. So I'm going to mix some of this up and we'll get spraying. Well, here's one of those things for the there's always something files. So the Raptor liner, it's got a smaller, whatever you call it, can top, than my applicator gun. So I cleaned out an old rock hard container, and I'm going to dump the Raptor liner into this because this fits my undercoating gun. I've got an old Schutz gun. Well, no, this one's the same. So I guess they probably expect you to buy a Raptor liner gun or something, but these are the ones I've always used. Not buying a different gun just to spray a different product. So anyway, we'll make it work. We'll adapt. But I'm ready to spray. Let's get in there. Well, there we go, guys. That's all sprayed. Yeah, it turned out good, I think. Now, obviously, these auto parts store kits aren't, you know, super thick like you see on, you know, places that do spray on bed liners. I mean, I've seen these things where I swear they're like a 1/4 inch thick. But this is, you know, for what we're doing here, it's cleaned it up really nice. I think this is going to look good. Just for the record, I did look at doing like a color match bed liner, and I've looked at those kits a few times, but they just always seem like you can get the color kind of close to what's on the vehicle, but unless it's, you know, like a real, like a just a solid color or something, I never think they look good personally. So, and, you know, this truck's got all the little black trim pieces on it, so I just thought the black would actually be the way to go on this one. So, wasn't much. We got the door jambs done, we got the spray and bed liner done. I'm gonna call this video here, guys, because the next round is just gonna be prepping, and it's going to be at least another week, might be a few weeks before I get back to this truck. So again, sorry I haven't given you a finished truck on, you know, even video 3 on this one, but just something to make a few videos about. We'll get her done. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Come back and check out the next one.